Hi everyone, welcome back to another video in the Web Security Academy series. In today's video, we'll be covering lab number 8 in the XSS module titled Stored XSS into Anchor href attribute with double quotes HTML encoded. If you do not have an account on the Web Security Academy, you can get one by visiting the URL portsfigure.net/websecurity and clicking on the sign up button. I already have an account and I am logged in, so to access the exercise, I'm going to click on Academy, select all labs, do a search on cross-site scripting labs, and go to lab number 8 titled Stored XSS into Anchor href attribute with double quotes HTML encoded. Alright, let's get started. This lab contains a stored cross-site scripting vulnerability in the comment functionality. To solve this lab, submit a comment that calls the alert function when the comment author name is clicked. Alright, so the target goal over here is to exploit the stored XSS vulnerability to call the alert function. Let's access the lab. Now notice over here, this is the built-in browser in Burp, and so all my requests are already being passed in my Burp proxy. Alright, so when we're looking for cross-site scripting vulnerabilities, we're looking for client-side input that is stored and reflected back to the user, or just reflected back to the user. So if we click on View Post right over here, you could see under each post there are comments, and you could enter the comment that gets displayed under the post. And so this is your classic example of testing for XSS vulnerabilities, since anything that you put in the comment field and then the name field as well, and potentially the website and the email address, may be reflected back to you as the user. So the first thing that we're going to do is put in dummy values to see what is reflected to the user. So you've got test right over here, test1 over here, and then test.ca under the email field. And then under website, let's say http www.test.ca, and we'll post the comment. And then we'll go back to the blog to view our comment. So notice over here, definitely the name field is reflected back to us. The comment field is reflected back to us. And if we click on the name, then the href attribute, which is the website link, is also reflected back to us. So let's go to post ID 7 right over here and look at the response. So if we search for test, which was the string that we inputted over here, you could see that we've got 3 matches. Again, the first one is for the href attribute, the second one is for the name parameter, and then the comment parameter as well. Alright, so all 3 parameters need to be tested for cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. But before we do that, let's say less than and the double quote sign to see if anything is URL encoded by the backend application. Because if it is, that means that we need to get a little bit creative when it comes to exploiting cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. So the email field, let's keep it at test.test.ca since it doesn't get reflected back to us. And then the website, let's say less than and double quotes. Click on post comment. So far so good. It didn't reject my input. And if we go back over here and look at the response, we'll be able to view if it's URL encoded or not. So this is our previous comment. Now the comment after that, which we just did, you could see that the less than sign is URL encoded in the comment field and the name field. The same goes for the double quote. However, the less than sign is not URL encoded in the website field, but the double quote is encoded in the website field. So that's interesting. It looks like there's some kind of encoding rules over here that are not being applied on the href attribute. So we'll start off with testing that for cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. So let's copy this entire thing right over here. This is what it normally looks like with the link in between the double quotes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add the exploit string JavaScript alert1, which just means that you're going to call the alert function when you click on the href attribute. So let's copy this, put it in here, and then just add test over here, and test.ca over here, and click on post comment. And here we go. It says, congratulations, you solved the lab. If we go back to the blog over here, all you have to do is click on this and then you get alerted with the string 1. So in a real world scenario, what you would do is you would have malicious JavaScript that either installs a keylogger in the user's browser, or it steals the user's session cookies if the session cookies are not properly configured, and the user won't have any idea that it's happening when they click on your name field just to check your profile out. Alright, so we successfully completed the exercise by exploiting the stored XSS vulnerability. In the next lab, we'll look at another case of a cross-site scripting vulnerability.